Look back into your past, brother. Look back into your past, sister. You don't know who you are. Look back into your past, sister. Look back into your past, brother.
My forefather was a king. He wore fat gold chains and fat ruby rings. Nobody believes this to be true. Maybe it's because my eyes ain't blue. You ain't gonna find it in your history book. Come here, young blood, and take a look. You dig down deep inside this hardcover. Don't you know that you was born, brother? All you read about is slavery, never about the black man's bravery. You look at the pictures and all they show is African people with bones in their noses. That ain't true. That's a lie. You didn't get that from my lemon pie.
Yeah, I cut class. I got a G. Cause history meant nothing to me except a definite nap. That's why I often sat on my back. I taught the girls to write a rhyme cause I didn't know all time's a black man's time. When I was young, my mama told me stories of black people's fight to bring us glory. I used to think these were stories to put me to sleep. But now I know mama told me
real-life key information to the meaning of the Black Research Institute. BRI. These are the stories.
Welcome everybody to the BRI, which is the Black Research Institute, and our limit is the sky. See, I try to merge entertainment with information, and the icing on the cake is dope conversation. Ain't no time for the faking, debating, or the hating. I'm trying to hip you all to the moves they be making. They all struggle, but still find a way to make a way. Fight back, count stacks, stay black all day. So I seek to supply you all with inspiration, with information to remedy our present situation by showing you examples of black royalty, and you never have to question the intent or loyalty. We're moving forward with the strength that's supremely kinetic. We're confident, we're black, we're unapologetic. Instilling self-love is what Willie Ree hope. No doubt about it, black people, we dope. Yes, we are dope. I'm going to keep saying it until you believe it with every fiber in your body. We are dope. And tonight, first, let me say this. I like to thank everyone that came on my Facebook page and wished me a happy birthday. It is very humbling, and it makes you feel good that even though you may not speak to someone for a while, that they remember your birthday, or they see that your birthday is today on Facebook, whatever they do, they take whatever time that they took out of their day to wish you a happy birthday. And that's never missed on me. And I want to thank everyone for that. But tonight, you have certain people in the world who are, well, you have many different types of people, but you have people who are thinkers, you have people who are workers, and then you have people who are talkers. Well, tonight we have one of those three as a guest tonight. We have one of those three, maybe two. She may embody two, now that I think about it. But when we come back and run a secondary break, after the secondary break, we're going to meet tonight's guest, a real angel walking on earth. All right, let's make it happen.
Hey everyone, my name is Kristen. I am the owner of Foreplay and the Hope Now Foundation. You can follow me on Facebook at Kristen Lorraine. You can also follow me on Instagram at the only Chris Lorraine. But right now, we are tuned into BRI, Black Research Institute with Negus Dolores Wilson.
Hey, everybody, this is Arthur Custodio Gomes, and I'm checking out BRI, Black Research Institute, with my brother, Dolores Wilson. So check him out.
So we're back, and tonight's guest is, I would consider her a lifelong friend of mine. I've been knowing this young lady a long, very, very, very long time. And I can't remember a time when I ever, ran across her and she wasn't smiling and she didn't have something positive to say, or and she and she don't notice that I notice, but she's a listener and she soaks things up. Like she'll soak something up and remember it, and the next time that she sees you, she'll remind you, remember you said this, I was thinking about that. But I was gone from Kings Mountain for about 30 years, and when I came back, I would see her around and I would see her doing things, like always helping somebody. And then, as Facebook started to grow, I start seeing her more. But I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. Everybody, let's welcome the angel on earth, Miss Teresa Wingo. Hey, Miss Wingo.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. First, before we start the interview, there's a couple of questions that I need to ask you.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. I want to tell everybody she's been very nervous because she don't know what I'm gonna ask her. So she tried to ambush me earlier today and asked me what was I gonna ask her, but I didn't say anything. So, but the first two questions that I gotta ask you are you being safe?
Yes. Very safe.
Okay. Now the next question is, are you happy? I don't even know why I asked that question, but are you happy?
Very happy. Yes, I am.
Okay, so if you're safe and you happy, we can keep it going. So
Let's
listen, Wingo, I've been knowing you a very, 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 very long time. Like a long time. We've been knowing each other. And so I can't say introduce yourself to me, but give the people a small background about Miss Teresa Wingo. And they still don't know. Only people in our area know why you're on the show, but the people that are not in this area wouldn't know. You know what I mean? They wouldn't know. So tell them a little bit about yourself, Miss Wingo.
Well, I'm originally from Kings Mountain, and most of my time I enjoy helping other people, whether it's in the streets, at the store, or at the car wash. Just giving back to the communities, not just one community, but I enjoy giving out to other communities of all areas. Whenever I see it's a great need, that's my great passion that I enjoy doing.
Okay. Now, you might not think I remember, but I know why you do it. I know why you do what you do.
Okay.
Because when you were younger, you saw your mother give her shoes. You saw your mother give her shoes away to somebody else. And you asked your mother, why did you do that? And your mother simply says, because she needed them.
Yes. That's right.
Because she needed them. And we talked about this, and that stuck with me, because there are certain times, there are defining moments in your life,
Yeah.
like things that put you on a particular path. It may not look like that
Right.
while you're going through, but at the end of the day, that's exactly what it was. And but growing up, your demeanor was always helpful,
Yes.
right? Like it was always a spirit of help, right?
Yes.
So I can't say I am surprised at what you're doing. I can't
Right.
say that. I can say is that I am glad that you're doing it.
Yes.
I'm glad that you're doing it. So what is it that you're doing, Miss Wingo? What do you do?
Well, I load up my van or my car and I hit the streets looking for anyone under bridges, people walking down the interstates, or people just sleeping in ditches or abandoned buildings. And I just try to inspire them, to give them some type of hope and dignity that that you're seen and that I'm willing to help with whatever I can at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So in your estimation, what, I can't say like why are people in that position, because a lot of people, there are different factors that are involved with that. But
Yes.
what is the greatest need?
Well, the greatest need that I see is for people to be seen first, because you really can't help nobody if you don't see them to want to touch them and to give eye contact. The greatest need out on the streets that I'm around is love.
Right.
That's the greatest need. And then other things added on. But if we can't love, we can't help.
So how do you propose someone? Because see, you know, in today's society, love is hard.
Yes.
It's a hard thing to do, because we're so centered around self.
Right.
Right. We're so centered around doing for self. Like, so how do you do it? How do you continue to love people and do for that? Like, what's your motivation?
Well, for me personally, for myself, I love people the way I wasn't loved. And so when you can do that, you can show love. When you can pick a time that you wasn't loved in your life or you didn't feel love, you can reverse it back and say, well, I can show love because I never got it when I needed it at the time. So I give sometimes what I didn't get.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how people say you learn from example?
Right.
Like you learn from example, but a lot of people don't understand that example don't necessarily have to be something you see.
Right.
An example can be something that you don't see.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Like an example, it can be how not to do something.
Right. Absolutely.
So a lot of people, they look for the example where they can actually see it, like, you know, so they can copy it, right?
Right.
It ain't no real learning in that. They can copy that because they saw it.
Right.
The real learning comes in like, okay, I didn't see this, but I know that that ain't supposed to be done like that. you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's not supposed to be done like that. That's supposed to be done like this.
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
And so when you tell me that you do it because at times in your life where you didn't feel love. So when you didn't feel love, what you do is go out here and you give people what you thought you needed when you didn't feel love.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it has truly helped a lot of people, because until you really sit down and talk to a person and break bread with a person and can look in their eyes and see the pain and the lostness and no hope, to reach out and love on someone, it can bring them up just a little bit, that you can reach out and do another part for them, or they can do another part for you.
Right. Now, this is what I want to ask you. Tell me about the first time you went out and started giving.
Well, the first time I went out and started giving, I was probably around 5 or 6 years old, and I was with my mom and my dad.
No. We're not doing that. I'm talking about
Me.
when you made you because you was with your mom. Your mom was giving. You just happened to be tagging along.
Yes.
But you learn from that. But
Right.
what I'm saying is, in your adult life,
Okay.
This is what I want to do. The first
Yes.
time you went out and did it. Tell me about that experience.
I was coming from Gastonia, and I was going around 321, and going to Lincoln, and a little boy rolled down a window and called a man a bomb. I heard him call him a bomb because he was big, and when I seen him call him a bomb and hear that, I immediately stopped in my tracks, because I could see that the man was just totally hurt from it. And I just went to his aid to ask him his name and how can I help you? And we just start talking, and I knew then that that was for me, period. I knew that I wanted to go all over the world and seek people and look for people to help them at that moment when he called him a bomb.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did it make you feel after you left him?
I was really sad, because I felt like I had abandoned him when I left, and I couldn't help him any farther.
Right.
It makes you feel really sad when you leave and you look in your mirror and see that they're still back there, and you get to drive away comfortably.
Right.
Yeah.
I was an HIV counselor for a while, and one thing that I just couldn't shake with that job is that no matter what I do, there's a 90% chance that they're gonna die from that.
Yeah.
That virus, right? So there's a 90%. I remember I started working at an agency. I think I had like 52 clients, and then in a year and a half, it went down to like 35 clients.
Wow.
So
That's hard.
17 funerals in a year and a half, and
Wow.
I couldn't shake that. I don't think it's natural for people to go to that many funerals, right? Like I don't think it's natural. So I understand what you're saying, because I felt like, I did all I can do. I can't do no more, and it's not enough.
Right. Yeah.
Right. It's still not enough. And I understand you, but you got to take solace in the fact that, for that particular moment in time.
Yeah.
Right. Like for that particular moment in time, you changed that man's life.
Yeah.
You changed his life. You changed his spirit. You changed. You never know, because I don't know if you ever saw that guy ever again. I don't know if you did or not, but you never know what that done.
Yeah.
Right. And I appreciate you, because I couldn't do it.
Right.
And I couldn't do the work that you do.
It's tough.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I can sit and I can tell somebody what to do. I can tell them how to do something, but that particular work, because the sadness would overwhelm me.
Yeah.
Right. The sadness will overwhelm me. And it takes somebody with your spirit to be able to do that, though. Because you're high spirited. Like you always smiling. So it takes somebody with your spirit, like, and your countenance to make that happen.
Well, I can honestly tell you that a lot of days it is overwhelming. Sometimes you just have to drive away and get by yourself when you hear the news that, somebody OD'd or somebody jumped. I mean, you hear it a whole lot. I've been to funerals in the summertime back to back. And sometimes, it can keep you up at night if you if you're not careful. It can be real draining.
Now, how do you get the stuff? How, like, do you take donations? People just give them to you? What? And
Well,
wait a minute, you have a name for your organization?
no, I don't, man. I don't have no name because I've never liked titles and stuff or names. I just like, I just call it the trunk lady. I'm just simple. This is the trunk lady. Ain't no cards. It's just the trunk lady, man. That's it. If it got to be a name, this be the trunk lady.
The trunk lady. Okay.
That's it. Ain't nothing. You know.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So how do you get the stuff though, Miss Wingo?
Well, I tell you, a lot of people just give. It's this word of mouth, and this kind of just went all over the counties. So a lot of business owners give, churches, neighbors, high schools, Kings Mountain High School, the realtor's office, just different people. They just know about it and they just started giving. It just never stopped. It never quit. It just went like a sheet of cover. That's how I get it. This donations, word of mouth.
Okay, so where do they donate to?
Well, I have drop-off places like at Teresa McFarland's office at Rockin' Realty. They drop off stuff at her place. Some of the churches, New Hope Baptist Church is a drop-off place. First Baptist give. I mean, everywhere just store stuff up for me. And then I have a dear friend of mine, her and her husband, Ash and Rand, they got me a huge storage place in Kings Mountain. And then Amazon brings stuff to the porch. So it's just, everybody does, everybody. That's how it happens.
That's amazing. That's truly amazing, because like I can't recall ever since I've been back home you asking for donations.
Yeah.
I've never seen you ask for donations.
Yeah.
That's what,
your wife.
What do you? Yeah. I remember I gave you all them hats. Remember I gave you all them hats?
Your wife give me sleeping bags. I mean, she's always giving, and after a while, when you are constant doing what you're supposed to do, and when people see that you are a doer, you don't have to ask because it's just there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they have faith that you're gonna do what you say you're doing with it.
Yes.
Like I think people like to give, but they want to give to someone who they have faith in. Okay, if I'm giving this to you and you're supposed to be giving it to the homeless, then I expect it to be going to the homeless, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what I expect. And they see you doing it without their help.
Yeah.
So then they much more apt to donate. It amazes me. So you have a storage building.
Yeah.
You don't ask for donation. You got drop off and pick off spots.
Yes. Thrift stores on Archie Whiteside Road. It's a thrift store there from Eric Griffin and Faye and their church. They just give me free stuff just to walk in and just get. Matter of fact, they gave me a key. When I need anything, I have a key just to get what I need for the homeless community. Yeah.
You got that's a little corporation running there.
Yeah, man. And it don't even have a name.
Right. No, it do. The trunk lady. Lady.
Yeah.
But that's beautiful, Miss Wingo. That's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And I commend you. And I ain't got much. I'm like the dude on Taken. I don't have any money, but I have a particular set of skills. Right. And if you need those skills, just let me know and I'm here for you.
Yeah. When you gave me those skills down at the barbershop years ago at Tony's barbershop, remember? Yeah. I used to ask you, so when you're going to write that book? You're one of the smartest guys I know. Remember that?
I remember when you said that. I don't know about smartest. You're living in Kings Mountain. There's only about 2,500 of us. So, you know what I mean? But I told someone when I was about to interview you, because my wife reminded me last week. She say, didn't I tell you to interview Miss Wingo? And I said, yes. She said, did you ever interview her? I said, no. And I was like, let me get on the ball because she busy. And I know if I don't tie her down, then I might not get her for a while, So I got on the ball, but I told somebody, I was like, when you know people and you see them grow up or you grew up with them, right? Like, it ain't too many times where me personally, I grew up with somebody and I see how their life ended up and I am surprised, right? Like, I'm not surprised because you knew how they were, right? You knew how they were. So, like, again, once again, like I told you, I'm not surprised of what you do. That doesn't surprise me. But I am glad that you do it, and I am astonished by how you do it.
Wow.
Because you ain't got no money.
No. Sometimes money may come from complete strangers that I never knew in my life. They'll just say, hey, you're the lady that give out to the homeless, and they'll just give sometimes, but it's not like no, I don't clock in for it. I just go get it, man.
Now, what I'm saying is, you're not like Bill and Miranda or whoever Gates. You know what I mean? You don't have money to, you know what I mean? Just keep giving and giving and giving, but you keep giving and giving and giving, right? Like, so that's what I'm astonished by.
Wow.
But that's a testament to who you are, Miss Wingo.
Yeah.
And how people look at you. So what's up next for you? What big thing you got going on next?
Well, I've been thinking about maybe hitting Asheville again. Because when I went there, I promised some of the people living under the bridges and in tents that I would be back when it got warmer. Because, I'm just honest, I can't do the cold weather as much like I used to. So I plan to maybe go up to Asheville, check in a hotel up there. And I want to make my rounds. I just don't want to be in one county. I want to go just about everywhere I can. So if I get to Asheville, I can look up people that was alive 2 years ago. They gave me numbers how I can contact them and hopefully find them and spend some time with them and love on them, take them to get a haircut, cut some toenails and just try to interact with them and get them to use the phone to call their parents. That's what I like to do when I go to Asheville because there's so many young people there. Yeah.
Living underneath the bridges?
Living everywhere, man. They all over the place. They everywhere up there. It's horrific. Young.
You come from a small town like we come from, right?
Yeah.
You don't really get to see the full-fledged horrors of life.
Right.
Right? Like, we don't really, like, I can't ever recall seeing, I mean, now you see them, but growing up, I ain't seen any homeless people.
No.
I didn't see them. So, when I went to when I used to go to DC and I see him, I couldn't understand. Like, I couldn't understand how that happened. And then but when you sit down and talk to him,
right,
you realize that how it happened could easily happen to you.
Absolutely. It can happen to anybody at any given time.
And listen, and the crazy thing about it is some of them are stockbrokers, bankers,
yes.
insurance people,
right.
They very intelligent. They may have made a mistake or anything. It's just, but they're very intelligent. But because of their predicament, a lot of us disregard them.
Wow.
And to me, that's backwards.
Right.
That's backwards because of their predicament. We're supposed to have them in the most highest regard to get them back. Need to be getting back. We're not supposed to disregard them because of their predicament, but because of their predicament, we're supposed to hold them in the highest regard to help them get back. But
Right.
right,
Yes.
we won't,
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're lacking love, because the only love that we have right now, Miss Wingo, is love for self.
You know, love is, like you said, it's lacking. And sometimes people will look over them and discredit them or think that they're not, equal or human being. And I see it a lot. I've seen people actually just, be very mean to them. But as long as I'm alive and I can move, I'm going to get them and love them, and I can't, I learned a long time ago, you can never control what other people do. And you don't have to like what other people do, but you have to step in and do your part to do the best you can. And what I decided is I won't let anyone take me from what I love doing.
I know that's right. Full disclosure, though. Full disclosure. I have been mean in the past to people or a person or persons who were less fortunate than me.
Right.
I have in the past. I'm not gonna sit here and try to sugarcoat anything like, I never done that before. I have in the past when I was younger.
Right.
And when you get older, when I did it when I was younger, it wasn't because it was in my heart to do.
Right.
Right. It wasn't in my heart to be mean to them. I was just around people, and that's what they was doing. So that's what I do.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? That's what I do. And and so when I got older, I realized, like, a lot of things that we get into in our life, we get into it because we're following.
Right. Absolutely.
And we're reacting. We're not acting. We're not acting. We're reacting.
Right.
And when you react and you're following, whatever the leader's doing, that's what you're going to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, right? Absolutely. Yes.
And that's how I was. And then when I got older, I was like, those people, especially when you talk to them, you realize, like, yo, I used to play this guy in chess in DC every day. Homeless guy. He used to beat my butt every day, but I would play him every day.
Wow.
And it made me get a deeper appreciation, because I was lucky to be born in the family I was born in.
Right.
I was lucky to be raised by the people who raised me, because and the reason I say I ain't gonna say luck, but more like blessed. But the reason why I say I was blessed, because I didn't choose them.
Right.
I didn't choose them. I didn't even choose the people that came into my life. I didn't choose them.
Right.
So I was blessed. But some people get dealt a hand that they didn't choose, that the hand just ain't right.
Right.
It ain't right.
Yeah.
And it ain't their fault, because they didn't choose them.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not their fault. And once I realized that, like, yo, any predicament I see one man in, I could easily be in that predicament too.
Absolutely. Anybody, all of us. Every time I go out and give a tent, I always put one in the car and leave one in the car. And I always say, anything can happen. I might need one. You never know what's going to happen. The only thing you know is right now, it ain't happening for you.
Right now.
That's all you know. But it can happen to anybody.
But a minute from now, it can be reality.
Right. At least if that happens, I know how to survive, because they taught me how to tie knots. They taught me how to make fire. They've taught me what to eat, what not to eat, about protein. I've learned that I could literally live outside and make it if I had to, because they've taught me their way and not sitting at the table just eating food. I've learned.
Right. And you know what though? If I was in that predicament, I would make my way to either California, Florida, or Texas.
Yes.
Because it's hot.
Yeah.
Right. And I ain't gotta brave out the winter. I ain't gotta, like, I wouldn't if I was in that predicament and I lived in New York, I would be panhandling to get a bus ticket to Florida, Texas, or California. Because first of all, being in that predicament is hard. But when the winter time comes,
yes.
God.
You see people actually freeze to death. You know, and die. Just sitting out on the up in Buffalo and Poughkeepsie, they sit out there and freeze to death. Just sitting up and die, froze.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now tell me this: what is your scariest moment?
Well, I was in Gastonia and on Main Street, and I had stopped to help this young man that I've never seen before. And man, I'm telling you, I was in my little Honda, and he stepped off the curb, but I don't know if I don't know what was wrong with him, because I didn't stay long enough to find out. He made a noise out of his mouth like something I've never heard in my life, like a scream that I've never heard. And it looked like it echoed all over Gaston County. And so, yeah. And he looked at me and said, "I scared you, didn't I?" But he didn't get to finish that sentence because I was halfway in Kings Mountain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, man, everybody you meet ain't for you to help. You know, so yeah.
Everybody, just because you meet them don't mean you got to help them, huh?
No, you can't, because everybody's don't have the same energy or the same vibration. And sometimes, if it don't match with you, you just have to leave them for the next person coming and help, because you can't do everything and everybody.
Well, you know what I say about giving, and this is one thing I stand by. The responsibility of a gift, right? Or when you're giving someone anything, the responsibility lies with the person that's receiving it, but it also lies with the person that's giving it. Because if you giving someone something and you know that they're going to go out there and harm themselves with whatever it is you give them, you shouldn't give it to them.
Right.
Right. Like you just, if you listen, I understand when you say, well, they hungry, they need money to get something to eat. No, take them to get something to eat. Right. Like, but if you know that what I'm saying is the giver needs to be just as more responsible when they give as the receiver needs to be. Because some people, right, like some people just give and it makes them feel good to give, but you could have gave somebody something, they went out there and took what you gave them and did something, did more harm to themselves because you didn't do your due diligence, sit down, like, and that's why I like what you do is you don't just give, you converse with them, you talk to them, you sit down and you talk to them. But those people that just, the people with the cups and you just drive by and put money in the cups, when you do that, you're doing that to make yourself feel good. It ain't got nothing to do with the person with the cup. They just but you're doing it for you. You're trying to make yourself feel good that you gave, so I believe that if you're going to give, you need to give responsibly.
Yeah. Sometimes I've noticed when I'm out and I'll see somebody, holding a hat or holding a cup or whatever, I'm trained now with my eyes and to look at them to kind of know if I give him or her this, is this gonna put them in the ground next week? Because I'm responsible for what I give and what I do. So if I feel that or if I see or sense that somebody have a opium problem or fentanyl problem, you know, you can kind of, for me now, I can look in their eyes, I can look at their gestures, and sometimes you know, and sometimes you can miss it. But I always try my best to see everything before I give anything, because it could hurt me down the road. It could hurt myself down the road. So I'm always trying to be as mindful as I can, not to give somebody something that they can go and hurt themselves with. I'm not going to give anybody enough of anything that they can go buy something off the street and hurt themselves.
Well, I look at it, I look at giving just like I look at how the creator does us, right?
Yeah.
He could have gave us and gave us, created us right from the beginning with everything that we have in the world right now. He could have created the world like it is right now, right in the beginning of creation. Could have created it, boom. But you have to give people time.
Yes.
To get to that level.
Right.
You know, you gotta give them time. You gotta give them time, right? So when you giving, like, okay, boom, you may see somebody and you know they on fentanyl, but you know they need to eat. So instead of giving them money, you bring them something to eat.
Absolutely.
You bring them something to eat. You keep bringing them something to eat, and then when you see improvement, then you can start trusting with other things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because you know they got kids that they want to see. They got grandparents and aunts and uncles, and they got their self. And sometimes, you know, people don't understand, like, because I don't understand about drugs because I've never been on drugs. But I know enough that I'm going to try to help that person to get them in a place that know about helping them before I release anything that they can go buy something with.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's the thing, like, that's the thing with what you do is like you giving love, right? Like, that's what it is. That's basically what it is. What you're doing, you just loving on folk. Basically, you giving love, but I think like you also are giving people a sense of hope.
Yeah.
You know, like there is some still good people out here, and they only believe that because of the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I always want to, because I know it is hope. I know it exists, and I know it's real. And the only way you can help another person is they need to see you coming back for them. You know, you know, I want people to see me coming back, and back and back again. Like the next step, I can give you a tent. The next time I can get you in a hotel. And then the next hope that I could get you in a halfway house. I want it to always stretch out farther and farther.
Evolve. To evolve. To evolve.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing though. You are a true testament to the universal law of reaping and sowing.
Wow.
That's what you are. You are a true testament to the universal law of reaping and sowing. You get what you give.
Yes.
You get what you give.
It's true. I believe that.
You don't give what you get. You get what you give.
Yes.
That's universal.
Yes.
That because you give a lot, you get a lot.
Yes. It's the truth.
That's basically what it is. Like you because you give a lot, you get a lot. And you've been a good shepherd on what you get. And that's the important thing. You being a good shepherd on what is being donated to you. You're doing right by those donations. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud to say and call you a friend.
Yeah.
I'm proud to call you a fellow mountaineer.
Yes.
You know, so and you know, like I said before, whatever I can do to help you, you know, fulfill your purpose in what you're doing, anything that I can do, any skill that I have, is available for you, Miss Wingo.
Well, I can tell you now what I would like because I know it's in you. Man, I would just like for you to write some poetry and just let me give it out on the streets because I know it's in you. And I'm going to keep telling you that. I've been telling you that for years. If you would just write me some of this 5 or 6, because I would love to give them out. It would bless somebody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Listen, I don't know. I didn't agree. I didn't agree yet. No, what I am gonna say, because I'm on this thing now where I don't try to, if I'm not confident that I'm gonna do something in a timely fashion, I don't try to commit to it.
Yeah.
Right. So, but what I will say is I would consider it heavily.
I'll take that.
I will consider it heavily. But look, so I enjoyed our interview. I hope you did.
I did. It was great. Thank you.
I talk too much because I can do that.
It was awesome.
But I'm proud of you. I love you, and I'm glad you're doing what you do. But before you go, I gotta ask you a couple of more questions.
Okay.
You ready?
I am.
Okay. So the first question is, what are you doing to push culture forward?
I'm just being my authentic self.
Okay. And the next question is, I need for you to name me 3 important Black individuals, but they can't be athletes or entertainers.
Okay. Teresa Wingo, my mom.
I know that's right.
My brother, Calvin Wingo.
Yes.
And my brother, Robert Wingo.
Okay. I know them all too. I know all of them. I know all of Calvin probably mad at me right now. Mad at me, but it'll be okay. But Miss Wingo, thank you. And once again, let me give you your flowers right now.
Thank you so much.
A lot of people only get flowers when they die.
I know.
No, I want my flowers while I'm living. Right?
Me too.
Mine enjoying. So I just gave you yours. But keep doing what you do. Keep up the good work. Keep helping people. Keep being Teresa.
Yes.
And just keep being yourself, because trust me, yourself is extraordinary, Miss Wingo.
Thank you so much, sir. And it was amazing. And I'm so proud of you to see doing what you're doing. And I know it's going to get bigger and bigger.
I mean, I'm sort of like you, Miss Wingo. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm doing what I love to do. So
that's all matters.
That's it. But I appreciate you. And once again, I'm gonna tell you again, all of my skills, whatever skill I have, is at your disposal whenever you need it. Just I'm a call away.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I love you, man.
Teresa Wingo, Miss Teresa Wingo, the trunk lady.
Yes.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Miss Wingo.
I love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Okay, that was Miss Wingo. But you know what? Wait a minute. We got 13 more minutes. So we got time for this.
I'm not counting your chips, but everybody else is. So you make 200, you make 200, you make 175, you make 150, you make 180. Why don't y'all have your own gym? Why we gotta go to UCLA to work out in LA every time? Y'all all come from the exact same community. You want to inspire kids that look like you. All it takes is 5 of them.
Okay. So listen, if this is your first time seeing this, if this is your first time seeing this barcode and this URL, I need to put you up on something. This portion of the show is called The Idea. And the idea is simple. It's very, very simple, a simple idea. And that idea is I want you to help me become the richest black man in America, all through donations. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds preposterous. I know a lot of you are saying, why should you give me money? I can't answer that for you. You need to answer that for yourself. You need to answer that for yourself. But before you answer that question, I need for you to do me one favor. Just think about what I'm asking you for 3 minutes. And it doesn't have to be 3 minutes at one time. It can be 3 minutes while you're in a minute in the shower, 30 seconds while you walk into the kitchen. But just think about it for 3 minutes. Think about what I'm asking you. And that is for you to help me become the richest black man in America. And you can do so by participating. You can scan this code here. You can take a screenshot, scan this code, or you can type this URL into any browser, and it will take you to a site where you can donate to this campaign. I'm not telling you what to donate. I'm not telling you how much or how little. I'm just telling you to participate and help me out. So it's the idea. It's a simple idea. I already know what, where the proceeds are going to go to, but I want you to think about what I'm asking you. And it sort of falls right in line with what Miss Wingo does. She's out here doing good work. She's not asking for anything, but she's doing good work and she's getting it. And that's all I'm going to say. Help me become the richest black man in America. And let's see what happens. You never know. All right. And with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Remember, in order for you to receive a blessing, you must first give a blessing. Peace.
Welcome to the Peachy King. Welcome to the Peachy King. Welcome to the Peachy King. Oh wow, I can't just make that banger.
What's up, Gaffney, South Carolina? I'm coming to the Peachy King Bar and Lounge. You heard what I said. March the 18th, it all goes there with your boy Antoine Scott. Gonna be in the building. The Peachy King Bar, I like that name on. Let's get in here. We finna go to the Peachy King Bar and Lounge down in Gaffney, South Carolina. March the 18th. Showtime is at 9 p.m. Your boy is coming to town. What? Your boy is coming to town. Antoine Scott, listen, look at you. Peachy King Bar Lounge, y'all. Come on, let me see your face in this place. Come on out, Gaffney, South Carolina. Boy, I can't wait to get there because I'm going to sit there and look at
And not to mention, if you are, a father or, you have a family come home to you, now you, as a man, you have the pressures of trying to find a way to survive and provide for your family.
It's like 10 of every 12 boys that were sent to me had nothing wrong with them. The problem was they had never been taught. They had never.
I've completely separated myself from qualifying being in certain places because I'm Black. A lot of people say, "Oh, now's the time for Black people." So yes, you're gonna make it because you're Black. Your business is gonna make it because you're Black. Because everybody's.
But as a credit repair specialist, you have to educate them. Like, okay, I know that this is what you want, but let me tell you how to get to this goal. You have to set realistic goals, realistic time frames to say, before I let you be a client, can you pay your bills